The Hawker Typhoon was never meant to become one of the deadliest tank busters of World War II. Initially designed as a high-speed interceptor to counter the growing threat of German bombers, the aircraft was plagued by engineering flaws so severe its own creators considered abandoning it. But wartime necessity has a way of rewriting destiny. In the Typhoon's case, what started as a dangerous disappointment became a brutal low-altitude attacker that terrified German troops and rattled steel from the skies. In 1937, while the Supermarine Spitfire dazzled test pilots and the public alike, the British Air Ministry anticipated the Luftwaffe's rapid evolution. Rumors of bombers like the Dornier Do-17, capable of outrunning existing RAF fighters at 20,000 feet, forced the ministry to issue a bold directive: build a faster, tougher interceptor. Hawker aircraft answered with the Typhoon, powered by the formidable Napier Sabre engine, a 24-cylinder sleeve valve monstrosity that promised 2,200 horsepower, nearly twice the output of the early Merlin engines. Designed by Sir Sidney Cam, the Typhoon also featured thick wings housing 4 20mm Hispano cannons, more firepower than most aircraft of its era. Yet this promising machine revealed its flaws quickly. During its 1940 maiden flights, pilots reported terrifying airframe vibrations at high altitude caused by turbulent airflow over the tail. Rubber canopy seals cracked in thin air, and carbon monoxide leaks turned cockpits into toxic chambers. The Typhoon, pilots joked, had a death shudder, and for many, it lived up to the name. At the core of many of the Typhoon's problems was the Napier Sabre engine. Its complex sleeve valve design required extreme manufacturing precision tolerances so fine that dust, humidity, or even the wrong lubricant could render it inoperable. Maintenance was grueling. Every 40 flight hours required over 1,200 individual adjustments. The Sabre developed a reputation for spontaneous combustion. Its accessory gearbox, located near the firewall, frequently overheated. Exhaust manifolds, dubbed death pipes by ground crews, cracked, leaking carbon monoxide into cockpits mid-flight. Pilots flying through rain or flocks of birds risked sudden engine seizures. One Typhoon once ingested a seagull over the English Channel, forcing an emergency ditching. Despite these issues, the engine had moments of brilliance. When it ran smoothly, it delivered raw, brutal power. But these moments were rare. As one mechanic noted, it was like coaxing a dragon to purr. By 1942, the RAF had a choice: scrap the Typhoon or transform it. With the Luftwaffe's Focke-Wulf FW-190 outclassing Spitfires at low altitudes, the Typhoon was repurposed. Engineers removed its high-altitude systems, added belly armor, and slung 8 rocket rails under its wings. What emerged was a fearsome ground attack aircraft. Now capable of carrying both rockets and 20mm cannon shells, the Typhoon became a 10-ton tank hunter. The Sabre engine's low-altitude limitations no longer mattered. It was perfect for short, vicious sorties. Its roar, amplified by airflow through the rocket rails, created a shriek that sent German troops scrambling before a single rocket was fired. In August 1944, during Operation Totalize, Typhoons flew 294 sorties in 48 hours, launching 2,000 rockets and 80,000 cannon rounds. The result? A 20-mile stretch of destroyed German armor and transport. The Typhoon wasn't just a weapon, it was psychological warfare. Its distinctive engine noise, measured at 110 decibels from 1,000 feet, became synonymous with Allied support and Axis dread. Allied troops learned to cheer the approaching roar. Germans learned to fear it. Panzer crews abandoned vehicles at the mere sound of a Typhoon's approach. One Wehrmacht officer later confessed the aircraft's dive profile triggered a primal fear response before rockets even hit. A post-war survey found the Typhoon ranked among the most demoralizing Allied aircraft, more feared than even the B-17 bomber. But the noise took its toll. Pilots reported temporary hearing loss. Radios malfunctioned from vibration, yet the howl, unamplified and unstoppable, became a sonic symbol of Allied vengeance. By 1946, the Typhoon had outlived its war. Jet aircraft like the Gloucester Meteor ushered in a new era. Of the 3,317 Typhoons built, more than 80% were scrapped by 1947. Their parts were melted into cookware or recycled for farming equipment. Museums shunned them, calling them too ugly for display. Yet veterans remembered. Pilots who had relied on the Typhoon's muscle to survive combat campaigned for its recognition. Only 7 aircraft survived. One, serial number MN235, was restored in the 1990s and now resides at the RAF Museum, a rare relic of an aircraft too powerful to ignore and too problematic to praise. The Hawker Typhoon was never graceful, never flawless, and certainly never easy. But in the chaos of low-altitude combat, it was unmatched. It wasn't a scalpel, it was a sledgehammer. Loud, hot-tempered, and brutally effective. Today it stands as a reminder that not every war hero wears elegance on its wings. Sometimes brute force and a bit of luck are just what's needed to change the course of history. Was the Typhoon a misunderstood masterpiece or a menace barely held together by grit and grease? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us on the next historical dig.